Good day again to you JC students. By the way, I must tell you, I'm an old boy, you know, right? Yes, I came to Jamaica College between 1964 and 1971. Fervet opus in campus. Now, Norman Manley, as I said last time, became a famous criminal lawyer. And at that time in Jamaica, we had no television. We certainly never had no internet. We didn't even have television. And whatever came in the Gleaner, which was the only newspaper for a time, until we had others like the Standard and so on, would be entertainment for our people. So the Gleaner in those days reported verbatim all of the cases that came in the newspaper, and there were some very famous ones. And therefore Norman Manley gained his name through that. Now, Norman Manley in the 1920s also became the retailed lawyer for the Jamaica Banana Producers Cooperative. It's very important that you know that, because what had happened is that during slavery, sugar was the main economic stay of Jamaica, not tourism and bauxite like today. And after slavery, the ex-slaves refused to go back on the sugar estates. And they brought in Indians and so forth, but there weren't enough. And eventually, a lot of the sugarcane people turned to bananas. And the good about bananas is that anybody with any small amount of land could make money on bananas, unlike sugar where you have to have acres of land. So they formed a cooperative and Norman Manley became the lawyer. Now, in the 1930s, there was a banana disease. I think it was called the black sigatoka, and it wiped out the banana industry. And many of the banana cultivators, the peasants, came to Kingston, came to Montego Bay, went into Sablamar looking jobs. And they needed to find a new type of banana to plant so that the banana industry could start again. And what happened was that Norman Manley spoke to the United Fruit Company, and the United Fruit Company bought a good amount of bananas. The United Fruit Company of America bought a good amount of bananas from Jamaica. But they didn't like dealing with a cooperative. A cooperative is a business that everybody owns. So they suggested a fund called the Jamaica Welfare Limited. And Norman Manley was chairman of that for the first 11 years. Jamaica Welfare would develop the countryside to make country areas attractive to the banana workers, because when they came to Kingston and saw electric light, there was no electric light in most parts of the country. Yes, you have heard that Black River had light before certain places in New York, but that was only Black River, and that was only a few houses in Black River. The majority of Jamaica was in darkness at night. They come to Kingston and they see electric light. They come to Kingston and see running water and flush toilets. And they come to Kingston and see cinemas like Carib and what have you. Carib was the first air-conditioned building in the Caribbean. And they come to Kingston and see other cinemas. And it was hard for them to leave these things to go back to the country. So Jamaica Welfare now start to have community centers where people could form cooperatives and have little business, have film shows, and things like that. Okay, next time we talk some more.